Hey everyone, back again doing some more Torment, Tides of Numenera. I meant to play this sooner, but I end up with a few days right in stream and whatnot, so unfortunately, shit happens. Let's go ahead and continue. We had just gotten, well, we were just making our way to the Changing God's lair underneath, the city. Oh god, its name left me, and I knew it too. Okay, that's better. So yeah, let's see what, where we can go with this. Okay,
let's go.
let's take a look at this. Oh. Uh-oh. Well, I have a feeling that's bad for me.
Don't draw their attention. Be smart.
Oh boy. Infiltrate the Stitch lair to steal their eggs or discover the talents of the Changing God Sanctuary. Distract the Stitcher using the musical statues. 3 egg clusters remaining. Oh. Okay, I see what I was doing. I'm in the sound to work on the Stitcher. Ooh. Well. That's too far.
Absolutely.
Last cast-off's turn.
I'm ready.
Let's see what this does. Oh. Crap. We're in trouble. Oh, that's as far as he can go, huh?
Let's do it.
Well, I guess we're going that way. Uh-oh. Oh, right. I have an item to be able to see an enemy's turn. Clear the fog of war. Well, this was less than ideal.
All right.
Mound of chitinous plates bulges with cloudy amniotic fluid. In the center, a cluster of leathery shelled eggs, the size of a fist, lie intertwined, coursing with electricity. Antennae protrude near one end, and calcified joints curve inward on the other. The nest shares many features with the other Stitcha, but the anatomy has shifted and expanded to protect its gestating embryos. As Tiber approaches this cluster, the mortared limbs creak and shake a few millimeters. The smell of dust and fungus seeps into its nose. At a level almost below hearing, clicks and rumbles quiver from deep within the mass. An invisible force tugs on the metal objects in your possession as Tiber comes close. It is not strong, but it is insistent. Let's try Quick Fingers. Tiber's arm slides through the yielding membrane with a satisfying pop. Sliding his hand carefully along the edge of of a chitin plate, he opens the cavity. The eggs, resting in their gelatinous amniotic fluid, are now within reach. Torrents of electricity blaze from the cluster and course over the ground. The overpowering smell of fresh air and blooming flowers blasts from the cluster. Any nearby Stitcha will surely catch its scent. Uh-oh. We are in for a bad time.
All right.
Rousing clicks spill from the damaged egg cluster. Pulsing arteries alive with current still connect the exposed eggs to the uterine walls. Alright. Let's reach inside and try and pull a cluster out. Oh. It's my best shot. It was successful.
I'll remember that.
Let's dismiss that. Your arm slides through the amniotic fluid, gently grasping the egg cluster at the center. With a light tug, you free it from the fibers that bind it to the nest.
Yes.
I closed the door anyway.
Yes.
I think I fucked up royally. Glowing statue emits a low hum that tugs lightly at your mind, trying to draw your attention. The statue cannot seem to resist it as you can.
Why not?
The shell is hard and translucent, almost like strong glass, allowing you to see but not feel the eggs inside. From inside the stitches-like mound, you hear snicks and chatters and smell moist, fertile soil. As you move closer to the nest, you feel all your metal possessions shifting and sliding toward the nest stitches. The fact is surprising, but not strong enough to upset your balance. Oh, because I don't have mine. Leave the last nest alone for now. Okay. I think they don't even really notice me. Last cast-off's turn. Let's see.
I'm ready.
Yeah, fuck. And part of the reason why I'm doing the early stream is because I wanted to spend more time doing this because I hadn't as much as I'd like to have, and I've got running to do in the morning, so I don't know exactly when I'll be. Ooh. Oh man, that does even worse.
All right. Fair enough.
Alright. Let's try this.
Go.
Let's try. Oh, wow. Yeah, because I don't think I have any natural... So what's my best? Oh, shit. Oh, wow, I succeeded. Holy
I'll
shit.
remember that.
Kick the egg, smashing through the glass-like membrane into the soft gel inside. Your heel crushes the egg cluster into fragments. Oops. Well, I succeeded, kind of. Hollow gap at center where you remove the egg cluster. I didn't really remove it, per se. I want to keep them distracted. Ah, shit.
Don't mind if I do.
Got my items. Let's see. All right. Thought I had. I should do that here in the Stitcha layer. Not that it really revealed me all that much more. Fuck.
Yes.
That's still humming. I can't make it that far. How far can I go? Oh wow, he's got a short movement range. Oh, spotted. The last cast-off is not in a great position. Where is my map? I don't remember now. These,
Gladly.
Beneath the viscous goo, the outer membrane, the clear skin is tearing away from the plates. The large eggs press against the skin from inside, ready to burst out. The nest creature rumbles intermittently, and off gases an occasional whiff of brimstone. The receding plates reveal metallic horns. A coil of coppery filament attaches them to the edges of the chest cavity. The horns pull lightly on the metal objects you carry. Static electricity arcs from them in rare bursts, dispersing the little energy left in the nest. Let's tear open the weakened membrane to expose the egg clusters. With a little effort, you press through the membrane. It crumbles as you pull it away from the chitin, revealing the eggs within. Well, last cast-off is going this way.
I'm ready.
It's much safer. Okay, I think I've got a good feel on this now.
Here we go then.
I can't do anything anyway because I don't have any... Guess they're gonna stay there. Okay.
On my way.
Take the eggs from the open cavity. Dry amniotic fluid flakes off egg clusters as you pull it from the nest.
I'll remember that.
Question is, which way do I need to go? Escape the lair and take the eggs back to Pelia, or find the Changing God Sanctuary? Ooh.
All right.
Good question. I better off. Let's see. Alright. It's another retreat.
Yes.
Trying to remember what all. Well, that wants to go kind of quick. Shit.
Yes.
Fuck it, we're gonna go try and make our way deeper in. The other one not activate, or I guess it has.
Don't mind if I do.
Alright. Let's try this. Hope I don't die on the way. First of all, make sure that there isn't a... Nope, that just shows blank wall.
I'm going.
And Allergen just has a slow speed in general. Oi. It's that time of year. I've been hacking up stuff all day. Okay. Finally.
Fair enough.
Still captivated, thankfully. Can't quite make it. Damn. Nope. There we go. Sucks I failed the roll to understand their language, otherwise I might not have to be doing this part.
Why not?
Whew. Oh. Did we find the Changing God's lair? Sweet.
Yes.
These mirrors look familiar. A staggering array of mirrors and lenses encircle you. Cables run from their backs to various machines scattered throughout the room. Your hands ache at the sight of this sanctuary, this workshop. Your predecessor spent many hours here, and your body remembers. Behind the display you hear a hinge creak. Study the lenses and mirrors. The mirrors twitch as you gaze from surface to surface. Eventually you realize why. They're attuned to your mind. You can move each one effortlessly with as effortlessly as your own hand. Every surface shows something else besides your reflection. A sliver of glass highlights a red cord around your throat. A small oval mirror lingers on a pulsing blue star beneath your forehead. The mirrors to either side of the large central mirror periodically flash purple. The tiny lenses above it all crane their necks to study you. One of them appears to be shivering. Reach for the shivering lens. You raise your hand. The tiny lens bends towards it, then flinches away with a soft bong, but not before you catch a glimpse of something small and shapeless moving inside. Shy little thing, whatever it was. You turn your attention back to the mirror. Are you afraid of me? The lens goes quite still, then tips toward you ever so slightly, like a child peering over a cliff. Thoughts spill through the tilting glass into your mind. Your gift is immediately overwhelmed. These are not words or symbols or any language you recognize. They are aware. Aware that they are thoughts, and in your head. At the moment of the realization, they awaken within your mind, reorganizing your thoughts into images that communicate what the creature in the glass was thinking. Scan thoughts. A circle carved in the dust, speaking its shape without words. Inside the glass, tendrils of thick liquid stream from the corners of the lens, coiling thread by thread into a perfect vibrating sphere. In seeing it, it sees you, and smashes itself against the glass, turning it utterly black. Looks alive, he says, hands on his hips. Not that looks mean anything. Crack. A jagged white line appears in the upper corner of the lens, racing along the surface like a breaking wave. You blink. When you open your eyes, an instant later, the lens is gone. All that remains is an empty frame. I need to start naming characters, too, so that way it's easier to follow. Tiber. Gone, is it? Tiber says, taking a step forward again. What a tragedy. He winks at you. Might have been worth something. Yet, something has changed in your mind. You hear whispers too distant to understand. You feel a presence swelling within you, reveling in the alignment of your tides. You hear a voice speak a single word, a word that echoes across the labyrinth, calling to you.
I'll remember that. Go.
Let's move the slivered mirror that shows a red band around my neck. Mentally, you jostle the mirror and feel an invisible noose close around your throat and tighten. Gasping, you sink to your knees, fall to your side. As your vision goes dark, you realize that if you survive this death, you found a shortcut into the labyrinth. How convenient.
Can't die.
Well, that's not nice. I did not expect that. I figured I would just, examine it a little closer. I didn't realize it would choke the living shit out of me. Oh, I'm back in the labyrinth. Oh. A new beginning. Woke up in the calm after dying. Can't say I expected you back so soon, Spectre. Why am I here again? You died. I mean, not dead, but you came awfully close. He leans in. You should be more careful out there. For both of us. What should I do now? You need to find this Matkina person. She might not know how to fix the chamber, but she's the only lead we have on who can. What is this? This is the creature that you freed from the Changing God's mirror array. You recognize it as easily as your own breath. Glowing discs twist and fold within the shapeless mass, moving in tandem like eyes. Perhaps that's what they are. They lift, bathing you in their glow, and memory overwhelms you. You are blindfolded. You feel the rough fabric against your eyes, and the frame of the lens, this creature's prison, in your hands. It shakes, struggling to get free. You feel its terror, its frustration, its sorrow. Your habitual frown deepens. Even now, after everything you've done to it, the thing wants to serve you. Release the lens and push it into the top of the array with your mind. It is of no use to you now, but later, who can say? Then, the memory crumbles. The creature, your mind whispers, stares up at you with eyes like radiant unfurling flowers. Blurb, says, through some hidden mouth. It is a thick, wet sound, but somehow not unfriendly. You traded one prison for another. That isn't fair. Agrees, or appears to agree. Indigo Tide raises a small amount. It isn't quite clear if you are understanding the intention of those sounds, or making potentially dangerous assumptions. Eyes focus on you, folding and unfolding. You hear a curious sound in the hidden reaches of the darkness above. The roar of an adoring crowd. An involuntary smile comes to your lips. This is what you've worked for in your short life. This is what you long to hear. Wide eyes momentarily flash silver. Sound dies away. Stares up at you, waiting. What was that sound I heard when you looked at me before? Why did your eyes change color? Frisk, explains, extending a slender tendril toward your ankle. Scan thoughts. Leaves tumbled down, too many to count. Let it touch you. Tendril coils around your ankle, cool and dry. Nothing else happens. Apparently, just wanted to give you a hug. Eventually withdraws the tendril, taps your foot, and absorbs the delicate limb back into its body with a quiet What kind of creature are you, anyway? For a while, doesn't say anything at all. It merely looks at you. Just when you think it isn't going to respond at all, a bubble appears at the center of its shifting body, then divides into two. They merge again, split, and become three. They merge, become four, merge, and five. Soft lights well from within each of the bubbles until they are the colors of the tides. Sorry. Without warning, the bubbles launch into a whirling, spinning dance, moving too fast to track. As you watch, their glowing lines become a perfect circle, a column, a shape that hurts your eyes, a vortex. Abruptly, the 5 bubbles pop, and the only light in Oom's bodies are the luminous eyes watching you. Blurk, it says, and falls silent. Can't you tell me anything else about what you are? Scan thoughts. The hand cupped around the candle flame. You're the reflection, are you? Can you leave my mind with me? Replies, surging toward you. Instinctively, you blink, and it's gone. Still, you feel the pressure of its presence around you, maybe waiting for you to return to the outside world.
Fine.
Well, let's go back out into the world. The impossible landscape of the labyrinth fades, and you once again feel the hard ground beneath your head, the mingled smells of the world outside your mind. Still too dizzy to open your eyes, you hear a voice. Someone is talking, and not to you. They're talking to Oom. You're the blob we spotted in the mirrors, aren't you? Aladrin says, groaning. Wonderful. It's exactly what this doomed endeavor needed. Another damn mystery. Slurf, Oom says quietly, shyly. Never seen anything like it before. There's a pause. This is Tiber. I need to think about that before I read. No, I tell a lie. There was that carnival outside Arvin Wood, but that may have just been a lass in a costume. You feel Oom's weight edging into your side, nervous about all this attention. Always room for a little more, I've always said, Tiber says, and nudges you with his foot. Is the lad coming with us? What makes you think it's male? Oh, I can always tell, he says, and you can practically hear his wink. But don't dodge the question. Is he coming with us or not? Yes, for now, anyway. The light from Oom's eyes bathes the side of your face. Grimacing, you push yourself off the ground. I'm alive. So there's that. The small gelatinous blob. Well now.
I'm ready.
You poke idly around this old machine. Feels strangely and vaguely familiar, but memory's faint itch is fleeting. His barest feeling of images and information flickering around you, but nothing concrete, and nothing that lasts more than a millisecond. Let's investigate it. Bring your hands across the machine and try to lift it and interact with it in any other way, but nothing seems to work. It's a mystery to you. Well, we'll leave that be.
Yes.
Let's try this one. The device looks like it was once part of a large device, or network of devices, embedded in the rocks beneath the city. Thick cables disappear into the holes of the wall. The machine gives off a low hum just at the edge of your hearing. Try to figure out how the machine works. Oh, I don't know why I'm so coffee. Touching the etched surface reveals a display interface, but seems unresponsive to your gestures and commands. The display does show a vast network of other devices it must be connected to. If you're reading it correctly, there's a vast array of machines and engines operating somewhere underneath the city. This interface might control them. Let's try and use it. You poke it, swipe it, yell at it, speak gently to it, but the interface is completely unresponsive to your commands. Well, then we'll leave it. Oh, the sorrow looms from this skillfully created mural. You can almost feel its clammy tendrils wrapping around your heart. Its inhuman victims twist and writhe, pleading for an impossible mercy. Some of the glowing bands on this machine have gone dark. It seems to be dying. Sleek and streamlined, this machine hums with an energy. You're faintly certain that it came to life just as you entered the chamber.
I'm going.
Let's Take a look at the mirror once more. Use the thin mirror to kill yourself again. I don't think so. Watch for the purple glow on the side mirrors. As soon as you look at the mirror to your left, a torrent of radiant light flows through you, nearly tugging you off your feet. You regain your balance just in time to see the light passes into the mirror on your right. In that mirror, you see a machine aglow with the same purple light you spotted before. If you allow the light to carry you, chances are it will take you to wherever the machine is. Oh. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. A flood of purple light streams from the mirror as soon as you look at it. It lifts you from your feet and carries you into the mirror on the other side. Oh, we're back outside. Now I remember where those mirrors are. Well, I found a shortcut. Good to know. It means I don't have to go back through the Stitcher layer. Well, suppose now we can go back down here. Ah, come on. Trying to remember. How the hell did I actually get to my map? There's nothing there. I remember pulling it up before. Oh, it's down. I'm an idiot. Okay. Well, at least I know now. Well, we got a couple of quests to turn in. See what comes of this. I panicked and started going after the eggs. I wasn't going to get them, but I also can't talk with the Stitches, so I have no way of kind of circumventing around it. So it seems like the only way I could beat that complete this quest is to grab the eggs. It's not exactly the way I'd like to phrase it. Fresh meat, watch it grow before your eyes. I have news about the Stitcha. Have the Stitch eggs. Her eyes swivel and a sharp focus on you. Is this a fact? How many do you have? Do you have them all? All that survived, anyway. You smashed some of them? Her lipless mouth is agape. I request that you retrieve them, not make an example of them. Her chest deflates momentarily, and then she fills it again. Nevertheless, give me the eggs, and I shall forge a peace with the Stitcha. Ooh. Which is better? Raise Silver Tide or raise Indigo Tide? I don't remember what each color represents. I'll give them to her. She accepts the eggs from you. A hard, triumphant smile curls from the corner of her lipless mouth. Now we will see how they negotiate.
I'll remember that.
Pelei bows to you. Your work has saved the city. Since you have agreed to abide by the Council's terms, they will be digging deeper into the rock, far from human habitation, and I will retain their eggs as a guarantee of their good behavior. Here, change your pouch. A reward in the city's gratitude. Scan thoughts. I'll retain most of their eggs anyway. Even agents of the city deserve a reward. Ooh, bonded items. You acquired a bonded item. These pieces of equipment are powerful Numenera artifacts that go in the bonded equipment slots on the inventory screen. When equipped, they fuse directly to your skeleton, nervous system, or organs, providing significant positive effects, but their invasive nature can also produce negative effects. You can equip up to 2 bonded items at once. If your concentration skill is at novice level, both items inflict their negative effects. If trained, you ignore the negative effects from the first item. If specialized, you shrug all negative effects from bonded items. If your skill level is an ability, one of your bonded slots is locked until you improve the concentration skill. I'm glad that our relationship has been mutually beneficial. Got 150 shins. I'll credit you in my report to the council. Oh, I can advance. First things first, let me look at my inventory. +1 training and perception skill grants immunity to dazed and blinded. -1 training level in stealth. I need the character sheet. Ugh. Alright, I need to press Y to advance. Increase an edge, increase effort. Let's go with ability. Choose between either improving or picking a new skill, or improving and picking one of your abilities. You can also do this once per tier. Well, I can only do onslaught. Just damage you deal. Let's go back. Increasing your max effort will allow you to spend more effort. Take an edge. I've got to go with all of them anyway. So, for now, we're going to increase an edge, and we'll increase intellect. Let me think something. Let's see. Get 2 points. Put 1 there. Check 2. Some training and cipher use skill. +10 evasion, +10 willpower. Okay, so everybody's got their separate. +1 training concentration level. So I can ignore the 1. Let's save real quick. Oh. Give me 1 second, everyone. Okay, I'm back. So let's go talk to Mapper. Oh. Where's Mapper? The hell? There he is. Have you found it yet? Do you see with new eyes? I've discovered the location of the Changing God's sanctuary. Leans forward, and the blue eyes begin to gleam more brightly. Tell me about it, he whispers. As you speak, Mapper stares at the exposed patch of flesh on his arm. New lines etch into his skin, unfurling themselves across the space. He smiles slightly and shifts in his seat. Yes, he mutters. Yes, he points to one line. Here, in the void beneath the city. What's this in the mural? He looks more closely at his arm and recoils. Ah, gods, it's terrifying even from here. He rubs at his skin as if trying to rid himself of the mural's image. His blue eyes look anywhere but at himself, and he shivers bone deep. I don't envy you seeing that thing, friend. No, not at all. He slaps his face a bit, bringing some flush to his cheeks, and smiles again. Anyway, I owe you a map, don't I? He takes a big breath and says, The White Death is hiding in a place called the Cave of Last Words. It is an old-used bolt hole. They say Chilla herself used it, but they don't say where it is. He smiles. Persistence pays, though. That's always been my watchword. There's one way to get to it from the Caravanserai, but it's sealed tight, and I never found a way in. But you can get there from the underground. Stitch and know, they dug there. They can dig there again. He smiles broadly. Of course, if you've made enemies of them, you need to find some other way to dig. Have you been to the Stitchulair? I can tell you what's in there. Are you joking? Can you really? Tell me. He stares avidly at you, his blue prosthetic gleaming as you speak. A space clears on his skin, and new lines pull themselves to the surface. He moans as if in the throes of deep pleasure. The Stitchulair. Yes, like I was there. The eye clicks and whirls for a moment, and then he stares at the new tattoo. That smell. Did you notice the smell in their lair? Like lightning and dust. He smiles. Thanks to you. You've done right by me. You say you want to be a bridge. How do you even do that? He shrugs, a faint smile on his lips. I travel. I see places. I map them out on my skin. And maybe inside me. I don't know. I mean, the lines change when I look. They've got to be stored someplace, right? He scratches his bald head. The lines flow under his fingers. I just need to collect places. I need to know what I've done. That I've done something. Making maps is all I know. It's all I want to know. Farewell. Well, I do have a digging machine. I want you to dig a tunnel and take me somewhere. Take me to the Cave of Last Words. Okay, so we're getting somewhere.
Who are you?
Matkina. This woman's skin is white, the color of alabaster or fresh ivory. Flat black eyes surrounded by sharply pointed features stare coldly at you. She wears jet black hair cut straight at the shoulders. Her clothes are functional and drab. Her cloak is fastened by a necklace of 5 canisters, each a different shape. She turns the black device over and over in her hands.
Where did you come from? How did you know where to find me?
Her startled expression becomes a glower. A keen blade flickers through her fingers. You sure it wasn't there a moment ago? Scan thoughts. Did I invite her here? No, I wouldn't have done that. Allegern, he mutters. I think she and Castellage would get along just fine. Mapper told me where to find you. Who? I don't know. Wait. Him? Him? Tattooed freak who can't stop talking about every speck of dirt he's ever set foot on? But how did he get here? What did he see? She casts her gaze around the cave, as if to assure herself that nothing is missing. Her voice hardens. Maybe I need to hang a map or two around here. Improve the decor. She begins to pace, muttering to herself. Where was he? Cliff's edge? Circus Minor? No, he was hiding, looking for something down below. That's why he came looking for me. Her eyes flash triumphant. He's in the underbelly, isn't he? Be short work. He's slow. Doesn't use any weapons. Well, bit of a limp. Yes, just as soon as she sees you standing there. Her hand jerks, and the blade is there again, as if she'd forgotten you were here. Scan thoughts. Who in the cast-off? Right. So glances at your tattoo. How new are you? What were the circumstances of your birth? When did you happen? Raised Silvertide. I was born on as my body fell from an exploding moon. Ha! That bastard of a creator always finds a way to abandon us at the worst possible moment. Have you heard the stories of Tuck or Inaffair yet? You should. What of them? She points her chin at your companions. If you think you can overpower me with mortals, you're mistaken. Aladrin. Sounds just like her father. Matkina. What did you say? You're trespassing in my home, you know. Coming with a cast-off makes you more suspicious, not the other way around. Any friend of mine won't hurt you unless I tell him to. Don't give me reason. Ha! If I gave you reason to hurt me, you'd be dead before you realized I'd given it. But fine. She flicks her hand and the knife disappears. Disaboweling you would just be a waste of time for me anyway. She turns back to her workbench and picks up the device again. Then she spits on the floor and scuffs it with her boot. All nervous energy. So what do you want from me? Why are you hiding down here? I'm not hiding. Her rage is quick, hot, and palpable. And something about it makes your vision dim for a moment. I'm strategizing, planning. Why would someone live voluntarily in a place like this? She gestures around her, and as her eyes break contact with you, her emotion leaks from her frame. This is where I stay. It's a bolt hole. Always has been. For those who know how to fight it. Even Chilla hid here, they say. I heard you might know who can repair a device I found in the reef. Something called a resonance chamber. The resonance? A glint of understanding shines in her eyes. Ah, yes. Of course he would have hit it there. A crooked grin plays about the corner of her mouth, and she then vanishes. I know who can help you, or did. She shakes her head. It slips away. My mind has holes in it. One of our brothers took a rusty scalpel to my thoughts, my memories. I can't. She trails off. She catches hold of the table, and it seems to anchor her. Her eyes harden. No, you must do something for me. She caresses the black and jagged device, knobbed and protruding with antennae. A sigil reminiscent of your tattoo is emblazoned on it. This is Tasha's mirror caster. I want you to enter his mirror and find out what you can about the jock. I'm convinced that's the key. What's a mirror caster? Ha! Am I really the first one to say the word to you? Oh, you're in for a surprise, sweet sister. Every cast-off has one, just like every cast-off has this. She taps the tattoo on your head. No one knows what they're for. Adiris used to think they were a byproduct of the transfer process, just like us. She seems lost in thought for a moment. Then she shakes her head. Wherever they came from, they can be used like a kind of temporal viewer. You relive an event in the life of the cast-off whose mirror caster it is. The event is called a mirror. Can a mirror caster be used to spy on other cast-offs? Not spy, more like seeing pictures of their past. Like watching them from inside their minds at times when they're burned or raged or changed. When their life was at a moment of flux. Why can't you enter the mirror? Think I've tried? She snarls with sudden rage, her knife a handspan from your neck. Do you think I've wasted my time with a newborn, a thief who steals into my home? If there were any chance I could do this myself. Her shoulders heave up and down with each angry breath. I try and my mind fills with static, like I'm talking to a Murden, only it slashes and stabs and burns me in. Scan thoughts. I can't. It'll only make things worse. Maybe it already has. She blinks then, confused. Why am I angry? Did you... She straightens, flipping the knife back into her cloak. No, it'll be alright. Just find the damn jock and I'll tell you whatever you need to know. It's a jock. You don't know. Thought it was a common instrument. No? No, it might not be so much anymore. One of the curses of a long life. She laughs raggedly. Fashions come and go before you even know they exist. Probably easier just to let them go, or make new ones of your own, like some of the other cast-offs. Sorry. No, not sorry. You should know this. You should know about things. History. It's what life is. Knowing and doing. Makina, you need to focus. Tell her what she needs. She breathes deeply. A jock is an ancient woodwind, and this one was kept in a sealed cave beneath massive doors from a prior world. It had powers, but I can't remember what those powers were. How do I enter a mirror? The most palpable hunger fills her eyes. A yearning. Hold the mirror caster. You'll feel it tug immediately. Don't resist. Empty your mind and let the tides pull you into the mirror caster. She collects herself. Then just watch him. Watch for the jock. When you see what he's done with it, pull your mind away from Tasha's and tell me what you saw. Oh, don't try to change anything, she says, almost as an afterthought. Why shouldn't I try to change anything in the mirror? What do you mean by that? Nothing serious, she says, it as though speaking to an overly concerned child. She laughs suddenly. It's not like you can change the past, but I need to learn a specific piece of information. If you change something, then you might go the wrong way. I'll do it. I'll enter the mirror for you. She plucks Tasha's mirror caster from the table. She looks at it, at you, and back to the device. She licks her lips as if weighing her options. And then, before she can hesitate anymore, slaps into your hands. It's surprisingly heavy. Do it, she says, her voice heavy. Find the jock. Bring me the answers. You focus on the device and you feel something tugging at your mind. Ooh, interesting. Everything is wrong. Tasha's body, yours now, clings like a wet cloak. The world is too bright for night time. Everything is too clear, distances too close, edges too sharp. Memories like blood flies buzz about your head, whizzing away before you can catch them. Hard-ridden Anine heave their flanks and huff behind you. Like you, they've gone too long without rest. And there's Makina, a much newer Makina, as drawn by a pandering portraitist. Too soft, too fresh, too pretty. All wrong. On the waste, you see the light of campfires, and in the humble village before you, a bigger, brighter fire burns. It's a pyre. Inside, a body that's too large burns too slowly. Greasy coils of smoke rise into the night. Villagers encircle the bonfire, wailing and shaking. The headman's rough voice continues the ritual. From exile, you are released. Among the mourners, some echo, you are released. He throws a handful of powder into the fire. Metal salts, perhaps. And a spray of shining embers rises into the night. Mostly gold, some green, some purple. From wrath, you are released. They echo him. As the embers float toward the plains and fade among the stars and campfires, you hear Makina whisper reverently, you are released. Makina, listen to me. We need to find the jock and protect your memories. Find the... What? Makina stares at you, dumbfounded. Then she shakes her head. Have a little respect, Tash. This is my home. We're here to save people I've known for years. A moment later, she adds, not to mention the only danger to memories around here is you, Tash. Try your title surge on me, and I'll burn those fancy eyes right out of your skull. There's a smile on her face. Like this isn't the first time Tash has teased her, or that she's promised a grisly fate in response. Let's see. Stare at the distant campfire and try to see what they are. You squint your unnatural eye and focus until the pyre, the village, everything else fades away. At last, the blurry campfire resolves into something crisper. You see the faint shadows of men around them, men in long coats and broad hats, painstakingly cleaning their jazales and daggers. There are perhaps 100 of them. Makina sees you staring and grunts. Sand Knights, from her tone, it's obvious that they're no friends of hers or yours. What's going on here, Makina? Makina answers without looking your way. Her eyes are locked on the fire and the flesh inside. It's what they do when one of the hill people dies. Never a burial, always upward. Plains people, like me, we can bring kindling and weep, but we're forbidden to join the chant. After a pause, she adds, I never got used to the smell of it. Even when they burnt juniper or balsam, it's worst at the end. She shrugs. When it's done, there's no more wailing for them. It really is a release. She looks thoughtful, but says no more. Until the ritual's finished. As the body burns and mourners chant, you wait in the shadows at the edge of the village. At last, the corpse is consumed, and the headman gives a final cry. To the distant dark, you are released. The villagers echo him, then drift away, leaving him alone beside the smoldering pyre. Makina, with a hiss and a gesture, leads you over. He sniffs the air at the sound of your approach, and with a broad smile he calls out, Kina! His eyes are large, milky marbles. He puts hands on your shoulders. You return in unpleasant times. She touches his cheek. I return because the times are unpleasant, Nang. Without another word, the three of you leave for the fire and enter Nang's dark hut. Nang's home is humble and small, hardly furnished and wholly undecorated. On entering, he lowers his weary bulk onto a hassock and gestures towards similar cushions for you and Makina. Then begins without preamble. They hung him from a tree. Old Garib took their daggers to him, called it pruning. Blind to other expressions, he has become oblivious to his own. He wears the pain and anger nakedly. The grunt, he continues, sent him home by skimmer, along with the compact they made to the plains people. He waves at the crumpled sheet of paper on the floor. Tick, read it to me. They've promised to put an end to our menace, Kina. He shakes his head. Why? We've always paid the blood price for whatever harm we've done. You know that. They know that. Yes, Makina says softly. But the Sand Knights won't take shins. You know that. It says, you know that. He grunts. The militia is here to help, Nang. You are who we stand for. The small, the threatened, the hunted. That's who we are, too. She takes his hand. Come away. If you tell the knights you're going, they won't force a fight. They have bigger battles ahead of them, believe me. This is our place, Kina. Padra Ken will give you a home. Trust her. Nang is silent. You don't need to trust Padra Ken. Just trust Kina. Nang cocks his head wide. Why would I doubt her? He smiles. There was a plains child, a beautiful boy, wandered too far into the wastes and was gone. We all gave him up. But Kina, he put his hands on her shoulder. She left that night with a knife and a lamp and a rope. Just said, I'll bring him back. Hardly spoke back then, Narkina. She sighs. Made things easier. Weeks later she comes back, the boy riding her shoulders, a string of Chirog heads dragging behind her. He fixes his blind eyes upon her. When she speaks, I trust. But even if Pedra Ken sets land aside for us, we can't just leave. It's not so simple. Plains people can't understand. The only time it's too late to start a new life is when you're dead. Give your people a chance to survive. Whew. Success. Nang nods slowly. You're right, of course, even if you've got the manners of a Martyr Marauder. After a minute, he turns his blind eyes to Matkina. But we can't go without the Jock. What? Matkina asks. Up the hill behind the gate. The cave's been sealed for generations. Inside is the Jock. It is what helps us keep our worst instincts inside. If we leave its song, he trails off, gesturing to the pyre outside. After a pause, he leans in, whispers in Matkina's ear. Now, he says, you alone of the plains people know how to open the gate. You work your way up the terraced hillside, leaving Nang to make his case to his people. In the distance, you see that the Sand Knights are on the move, riding hard toward Kuln Village. Nang will need to make his case to them, too. When you arrive at the cave and its huge ancient gateway, Matkina shakes her head. For years I wondered about this, she said. The hill people tell a fable that the first men and women came out of here. Said the gate would only open when it was time for the people to disappear. She shrugs. One way to keep kids from poking around and disturbing the Jock, I guess. Something she said stirs your mind, and your memories jingle like a wind chime. Try to judge up the memory that's troubling you. Well, as good as I can get it. Whew, thank you. At once, a glaring light shines over your mission, as painful as it is revealing. You're not here to help Pedra Ken save Kuln Village. You're here to help Paj destroy it. She knew the villager's secret, knew about the Jock. Most importantly, she knew the Sand Knights would come, knew about their compact. The plan isn't to take the villagers out of the Knights' way. In fact, it depends on causing the very battle Matkina promised to be averted. When the Knights arrive, Paj will destroy the Jock, forcing the hill people into their feral state, unleashing them upon the Knights, weakening one of the malicious foes. And Paj is coming in person to see that all goes right. Matkina, we can't open that gate. Paj Rakan is planning to destroy the Jock, and with it, the entire village. You fully deplete one of your stat pools. To recover stat pools, you must find a place to sleep or consumable item and ciphers. You hurriedly relate your memories of Paj's plot, how she and an armed band will be waiting to take the Jock and destroy it, in order to unleash the Terratomorphs upon the Sand Knights in a living trap. At a certain level, the betrayal is so audacious, the plot so callous, that it is unbelievable. At first, Matkina is incredulous. But then her face hardens and her eyes flash with rage. You're serious, aren't you? She scans the horizon for Paj, and so do you, but there's no sign of her. We need to get as far away as we can, she says decisively. Draw Paj off. Buy Nang time to negotiate with the Sand Knights and keep them from the Jock. You're barely 100 meters up the hillside before a deafening shriek fills the air and 7 people seem to drop out of the sky. One of them is a woman you know immediately to be Pedra Ken. The others must be her bodyguard. Tattooed cast-offs, drab armor, mismatched weapons, and the languid readiness of predators. Despite the surprise, Matkina flings a knife before they even hit the ground, and it slips between the plates in one glaive's armor. She's throwing another when a beam of light envelops her, trapping her in a field of energy. As Matkina thrashes about, their attention is clearly focused on her, giving you an opening, slight as it may be. Um, let's see. How do I want to do this? Running isn't the right way to go. Try to reason with them. You barely have a chance to open your mouth before one of the bodyguards steps forward with a preternatural speed and buries her fist in your gut. As you fall to your knees, she tops it off with a kick to the face. While your head swims, she flips you over, disarms you, and hoists you back to your feet. Though both of you are subdued, Podge hardly seems happy. Don't know what game you're playing, Tash, she warns. I don't particularly care. I just want the jock. Tell me how to open the cave and we'll go from there. She doesn't bother with a bribe or threat. Despite her soft and almost maternal features, she doesn't need to bluster. Her eyes say everything. Let's lead her about how to get into the cave. Success. You quickly gin up a series of steps, and for the moment, Podge believes you. She nods to one of her bodyguards, who sets off toward the cave to test your method. A few minutes later, he returns and shakes his head. Podge sighs and lifts a finger. Before you can react... I lost myself for a second. Before you can react, you're sliced open by another bodyguard. As you follow the ground, you watch them fling Makina over the cliff, still wrapped in her energy field. She can't even scream. Paz gives you a last annoyed glance, then leads the other way. You cannot see where they go. The darkness gathers around your vision, and a sound like crashing waves fills your ears. Then you slough off Tasha's body, Tasha's mind. All goes black. As your consciousness rises from the shadows of the mirror, something clicks in your mind. Something has changed deep inside you. But what? Makina stares at you, the shock painfully obvious on her face. What? What did you do? I remember Tash cutting me. I see the holes in my mind. I remember him forcing me to the ground, tearing out my history with his tides. But I have other memories now. They're real. Tash didn't do it. He could have, but he didn't. He tried, but didn't. He didn't touch me. Didn't violate me, but I remember his mind pushing at me. But no. She holds her head in her hands, shaking, her voice becoming thick. The two strands of memories. It's pulling me apart. She looks up at you, tears streaming down her cheeks. No. It's pulling me back together. Remember now. That hole is... It's almost gone. You changed reality. You changed it. She stands, drying her tears with her sleeves. And I don't know if you meant to do that, but you've done more than your part of the deal. You asked about the resonance chamber. I know it. Mazov's the guy you want. He can fix anything. He might have even helped design the chamber you're talking about. Your best bet is to look for him in the cast-off sanctuary. Miel Avest. There's a cast-off sanctuary? Whoops. It's a sanctum, a refuge created by the First and our sire. It's shielded from the sorrow, supposedly. She shrugs. Our siblings like to hide there until they can't stand each other's company anymore. Scan thoughts. Personally, I don't think anywhere's safe from the sorrow. Not even that place. Great. Where can I find Miel Avest? Word of caution. They won't believe you in Miel Avest. They'll treat you like they treat every new cast-off. It's upon their games with each other. Look out for that. She walks to her table and unrolls a map of the Sagus Protectorate. You're not going to find it by walking there. The entrance is secret, known only to our kind. Here. She points to a spot on the map, many kilometers to the northeast of Sagus Cliffs. The Valley of Dead Heroes. There's a hidden portal in the necropolis. Also memorize this. She writes the numbers 3431 down on a slip of paper. Holds it in front of your eyes for several seconds, and then crumples it in her hand. It's a code. It'll make sense when you get to the necropolis. You'll need an airship to get to the valley. The ladder over there leads up to the caravanserai. You should be able to hire a ship without too much difficulty.
Making a note.
Thanks. Can I ask some other questions? Fine. What do you want? Would you travel with me? Too many of you with you already. Don't want to join the menagerie. Maybe after you drop them off. Farewell, Matt Kina. It's... Oh. I can advance. Extra effort or ability and skill. Took extra effort. So we're almost to tier 2. Hard nano.
Thanks for taking me on, lass. Always good to have a friend watching your back. Hmm? Now, what can I do for you?
Think I'm gonna let Tiber go and take Matt Kina with me. Parting ways? Damn sorry to hear it. It's been a pleasure. If you ever needed me again, I'll be at the Caravanserai, looking for a way out of this vertical slum. Let's see. Would you like to travel with me? She looks down at the table and sorts through a couple sheets of paper. Nothing here that requires my immediate attention. I suppose it's fine. Thank you, Matt Kina. Let's go.
Go.
So let's go up the ladder. The rungs of this ladder are firm and strong. At the top of the ladder, you can see a closed hatch, and can also discern the levers that hold the snatch snugly tight. Ascend the ladder. That was definitely interesting. Especially knowing that apparently mirrors aren't just a portal into memory, they're almost like time travel in that regard. I can actually change things. Well, I didn't know exactly what the memory was before, so it was kind of hard to look at it and say, oh yes, well this is what it is. So let's save again. I'll take save slot 5. Okay. I think we're going to call that it for now. So I'm not going to do the normal stream like I would in the morning. I will probably... Oh, well, depending on how things go, I may attempt to stream closer in the afternoon after I've done all my running and everything. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure what I'll do. I'll figure it out if I do manage to do something else today. But thank you guys all for watching. Those of you caught it live here on Twitch. Those of you made it this far and on YouTube. As always, I appreciate any likes, follows, subscribes. Every little bit you guys do helps. My Twitter account, @Link6413, is the best place to catch what I'm playing when I'm playing it. I always tweet before I go live. And there's always links to the YouTube channel whenever I get a new video up. So thank you guys all once again. Hope you all have a great day and take care. Bye.